All right, hello SpeedGaming. Coming right out of that any percent race. This is the Hardway to Hell randomizer tournament for Super Metroid. Happy to answer anybody's questions as we get going here, but we're starting off with Audraxys versus Yondolash. This is the 1 versus 16 match here. And just to give a quick starter, the Welcome to Hardway to Hell settings is basically what you'll see if you go on the Varia.run website and click the Hardway to Hell preset. So in short, it's master logic, suitless, and super fun combat, which means you're not going to have screw attack and you're not going to have plasma beams. So suitless meaning you'll be missing the various suit, or you'll be missing the gravity suit, or you'll be missing both. So you'll either find 0 or 1 suit possible in the seed. So that's what we're doing today. It's gonna be a little bit of a challenge. You'll either have to do suitless Meridia, or you'll have to do suitless Lower Norfair, or both. That's kind of the fun that we've all signed up for in the Hardway to Hell tournament. And you can already see one of the interesting things that can happen is you got a missile at the morph ball platform, meaning there's probably gonna be a morph ball in the ceiling here. And true enough, got to do a little bit of a little trickery to get this morph ball. And then we're off to the races. We'll see what else we can find down here. E-tanks can often be either a valuable thing to find or kind of a bad sign that you're going to have to go do some hell runs sooner than you'd expect. So it looks like there's 2 E-tanks down here in the Retro Bryn area. Audra's on the way out. Yondo picking up that first E-tank and will be shortly behind. So keep an eye on Audra as we go toward the other unexplored territory here, going up the elevator. Normally you'd be able to have power bombs, in other randomizers and possibly pick up some more things down here, but right now we just got missiles and no bombs at all. Anyways, we're doing some of these early moves here. Just want to introduce myself. I'm Iron Rusty. You'll be joined by Kaizenton as the tracker today. So the joke is that tracking Hardway to Hell is pretty easy because the seeds can be so slow and sometimes you get so little stuff that there might not be too much to do for some of the time. And truly, some of these races have gone on longer than people expected because it's challenging. So I think at this point here with just missiles, it's going to be true that we're going to have to go to Bomb Terizo BT in order to find any kind of progression or the next item. So sure enough, Audra's on the way in there. Having skipped past other things like the 230 missile or Old Mother Brain, you might have the chance to grab early. In this case, Audra's is going to go right in there and found some power bombs at BT. So that'll open up some more doors, or so to speak. It'll open up some more checks. And here we are fighting BT with just 5 missiles and some power bombs. Okay, I had to wait for a second there. Okay, so out of BT and Yondo's just getting started on it. Let's go see what ends up being the. Yes, it's speed running, but it's kind of like a long speed run. It can be. So Audra heading in here to 230 missile to get one of these other early checks you can grab with bombs. The first reserve tank, and those who know some of the trickery of Super Metroid know that reserve tanks, well, they are inferior in some ways to energy tanks. They do give you some extra possibilities. So finding that first reserve tank might actually be a good sign. So Yondo also opting to go straight to Terminator and skipping that 230 check. So these two are synced up, running right out of Terminator. And we'll kind of see where it goes from here. So yeah, Yondo missing out on that tank early. May end up routing it back in later. And a lot of times in these seeds, you end up doing a lot of backtracking to try and pick up as much stuff as you can. Oftentimes skipping anything in out of hard to reach places ends up backfiring big time. So we'll just kind of see how it all kind of like shakes out. But at this moment, they're both entering green Brinstar neck and neck, though Yondo did skip the 230 missile check at this point. So there they are going down the elevator in lockstep. And watch for those in-sync mock balls to get into early supers here. Oh, looks like Audra is opting to do a farm here to have enough missiles to open the back door, while Yondo went straight up to the top, and then is gonna opt to redo the room with the farm. So we'll see how the timing works out on all of this. But they're both leaving the door. And now that Audra has the missiles, we'll be able to go straight into the back. So, pretty close here. And different ways of getting to the same result. Some missiles in the back, and you see that there's these empty items appearing. In a normal Hardway to Hell seed, there are some pieces of ammo missing, so I think it's something like 60% miners. And you can see Yondo doing the reverse mock ball to get out of early supers, getting that slight advantage while Audra had to go up for the top item. So very close here at this moment. Here they both going down toward the Edicoons. There's 3 items down here, so we'll see what they can find. Well, one of them is behind a green door, so unless there's a super missile down here, one of these is going to get left behind, but let's see what happens. There's an empty item and the green door, so they're both opting to go over toward the Edicoons to get this 3rd item. Tough to get a blank. And while it hurts to get the D-boost off the ceiling, it can often be the fastest way to get through some of these rooms. And there's an item over here. It's a super missile, so it's going to do something out of sequence here. We'll see if Audra opts to just go back down and get that super missile door. And truly, Audra's going to go back down, grab the super missile door. Now, you wouldn't normally do these items in this order, but sometimes the game has a sense of humor. And let's see what it is. Another bit of ammo, missile. Up to 20 missiles for Audra now, and Yondo's going to find that as well. The missile count does end up mattering because of the number of crystal flashes you want to have for lower Norfair. Just getting back to the Hardway to Hell settings here as these two climb back up the shaft. Getting crystal flashes is supremely important if you have to do lower Norfair suitless in order to recharge your health. So getting, 30 of each type of ammo or 40 of each type of ammo. Some people like to have 50 of each type of ammo. And really it's 11 power bombs, 10 supers, 10 missiles per crystal flash. So you kind of need to stock up on ammo as you're going through these. So that's one of the reasons why we opted in setting up this tournament to take away the item fanfares. We're all here for a long time anyway, and while sometimes skipping an item to skip the fanfare is a good strategy, we just figured you're gonna need the ammo anyway. So we see Audra heading over to that Mission Impossible, grabbing a tank and a missile, I believe. And then strategically with this low power bomb count, using a single power bomb to open up 2 bomb blocks here as you get into Spore Spawn's super through the back door with just 1 power bomb while also opening the charge beam door. So interesting little maneuver there by Audra. Well accepted way of saving a power bomb. Now with only 1 power bomb left for the next real power bomb farm in Red Tower, say. Yondo following the same route just behind Audra here on these checks, and the Spore Spawn missile, or Spore Spawn super, sorry, a blank. Oh, it always feels bad when you I had a perfect plan for this, but it ended up being a blank. Just to toy with you. And Yondo here also being careful about ammo, wanting to get a little bit of a farm in. Not exactly sure what. Oh, Audra is also looking for supers, because to do the wave gate glitch, you're going to have a super missile. Plus, you're going to have a super missile to get out of Spore Spawn. So they're getting 2 super drops. I think that's what Audra was looking for. Plus, you're going to need one to get out of Big Pink. So I think 3 is the number. And here's Yondo going into with the Wave Gate. So you can see this maneuver with the super to... Oh, missed the shot. It looks like got it on the second try. Oh, it missed as well. So I couldn't hear it. I couldn't hear it go off. It's on the other audio, but okay. So we'll get to see it on Audra's screen. How to set this up without Moonwalk. You see right there. Looks a little different than those of us who use Moonwalk. But it worked out. Hits a blank. Yo, another blank. And interestingly, Yondo here getting this E-Tank for a refill after getting the bodied a little bit by the Wave Gate hoppers. It's going to be a nice little refill that may end up mattering. So Audra, having cleared out as much as possible, Big Pink is heading out of here. And it looks like Yondo's going to get farm for her supers to try and get that Wave Gate going in Spore Spawn. I believe. So keep an eye on Audra here as we get into Red Tower. This is the vanilla map, or the regular map, with the Hardway to Hell settings. This is not boss rando, so it's always going to be the bosses in the regular locations, which really matters for Hardway to Hell because when you have to do Suitless Lore and Warfare, and it's Ridley, that really adds a layer of challenge onto things. If you've done RBO, you know what that's like. But if you have done boss rando with Suitless Lore and Warfare, it is quite a relief to be able to find Kraid or something in Lore and Warfare. So with these settings, though, there will be no boss rando. There will be no relief in Lore and Warfare. It's going to be Ridley for sure. So, and that's part of the fun we all signed up for by doing the default settings. Though it's fun to read some people's scheduling threads like, oh, hey, let's just do the default. That'll be fun. However, getting boss rando does lower the difficulty potentially, both for Lore and Warfare and for Meridia. Having Dragon at the proper location also adds a little bit of a layer of challenge because there are ways to get out of the Precious Room with less of a loadout if it's not Dragon. So Audra, having gone up Red Tower, found a few more bits of ammo and tanks. Yondo is also going to be following right behind, going up Red Tower to get those 3 items. And Audra, with the option to go back down, decides to go back up toward Criteria, up the elevator. So we'll see where this pathing ends up going. With just 5 power bombs, doing the gauntlet check is not really the play. And you can't get to the Criteria PB. So this could be a moat check and then another decision. Moat ocean check. We'll see. Audra's moving to the right, so it looks like heading into the wreck ship. There was a 7.5 hour seed this season. And you can see that Audra setting up the no moonwalk in-room CWJ attempt. Masterful. And we'll also get a check here at the front of the wreck ship. And Audra does have ammo to defeat Fantoon, so should be, looks like a committed wreck ship check here. Yeah, we did have a 16 versus 17, basically a play-in game, or a play-in round. To get to this match. So Yondo was the one who survived while Bokubi opted to forfeit. But that gave Yondo the opportunity to finish the seed at his own pace. In this case, it was a 7.5 hour ordeal. I mean, it's probably nothing to spoil by saying that there were deaths. There were several deaths. Okay, so Yondo looks like is also opting, and it's funny, you get muscle memory about laying a power bomb for that door, though. it's only a power bomb door in one direction in the randomizer for reasons I could talk about if anybody's curious. But here we are, going into Fantoon, and there's no mystery here. It's not going to be boss rando, so it is certainly going to be Fantoon. And then we'll see what other stuff appears in the wreck ship. Now, with Yondo being at the moat here, I just want to mention that we see the X-ray appearing here at the moat. And that is a significant item in a Hard Way to Hell scenario, because there are some alternative there's some alternative strats that you can use if you have X-ray, such as using G mode, very challenging, or R mode to get a blue suit, for example. Or you could use X-ray to do a certain ice clip more easily. So X-ray is not an insignificant item, especially in a Hard Way to Hell setting, because, I mean, certainly for me, specifically, you know, if I can't do all the tricks in Hard Way to Hell, but like some other method could get me there, X-ray is a very important item. But now that we have X-ray and a reserve tank for Audra, there are a few more options on the table. Yondo did not find that reserve tank yet, but may go back and clear out and find that reserve tank, and then also has the option to do R mode, for example, or to do ice clip made easier with X-ray. Yeah, G mode is allowed in this as long as you're not going out of bounds. And sometimes people want to do the G mode to get items in the aqueduct, or they want to do G mode to like get into the back of Lower Norfair without a high jumpless lava dive. There are legitimate reasons to do G mode in a race such as this, where it could go on really long. Yes, G mode would be allowed. So you're not going out of bounds, and it's not memory corruption. I think there are versions of G mode that create memory corruption, such as in the RBO glitched category, where you abuse G mode and save points. I don't know exactly how it works, but there are ways that you can cause memory corruption, which is not allowed in a randomizer setting. Audra here going for the sponge bath. Little tricky jump. And is on the last power bomb now. And missed it. So Audra was going to get that wreck ship E-tank, but ran out of power bombs for the attempts on the sponge bath. But this bull does drop one, so they're just gonna keep trying. Meanwhile, Yondo's going for the CWJ to keep on going. And you saw the wall jump animation. That just means that Yondo missed it by however many frames. If you see the wall jump animation, you know you were in the right place. Just hit that button at the wrong time. Not an easy trick. But you just have to press one button at the right time, and then press another button at the right time, and you get it. But easier said than done. Okay, so it looks like Audra, after farming some power bombs, opted to just move along. And here we are into the attic. Plenty of health, so no real danger here. But we will get to see what some of these items are in the wrecked ship and see if it's all worth it. It's so heartbreaking when you come all the way to the wrecked ship and just find a bunch of nothing. But finding some ammo in a seed like this, you know, it all pays off, because you need them for crystal flashes, and every little bit helps. Or just finding another E-tank helps. And oh, and I missed the moment when Yondo got the CWJ, but looks like Yondo's into the ship. Going into the save point here, but this save point is not going to be active since it's not boss rando. However, there's one item here outside of Fantoon before fighting Fantoon. Should be plenty of health to fight Fantoon though, so I don't expect there's a great need to get that save in. It's just playing it safe, which I definitely approve of. Okay, here's Audra finding the Spazer. You know, Spazer's okay. Some people love it. And when you're playing Hardway to Hell, sometimes you just need that extra beam. It does help. Especially because Plasma is not on the table in a Hardway to Hell seed with the super fun combat setting on. There will be no Plasma beam. Sometimes it also removes Spazer or other beams like Wave Beam. But here we are setting up for the scenic ride in the sky. Audra looking impatient, riding the very slow platform while Yondo fights Fantoon. Yeah, what Samus really needs is the spread gun from Contra. Spazer is kind of like that. What is it in the sky? It is a super missile, and that is actually probably worth it. Now watch this power bomb count here, because we're at 2 power bombs on Audra, and maybe now they're realizing how close they are on power bombs. You do want to have... It is nice to have some extra power bombs at this point to be able to check the wreck ship reserve item. But having 2 power bombs means that they would not be able to do that. Or X-Ray could have checked the reserve item from above. It's true, Kai. But I think now that they're already down here, it would waste another power bomb to get back out of this little spot, because the way the little morph tunnel is to the left of this bug, you have to use another power bomb. Okay, so I think Otter is content to move on with 3 power bombs. Three power bombs. Still can't check the reserve though, so I'm also a little baffled by this number, but you know, hey, I've been there. Sometimes you're like, well, I'm just gonna farm a power bomb, and they're like, oh, well, I need 2 more power bombs, because I think Audra actually needs 4 right here to do everything. Yeah, so many tanks. It's gonna help, especially if we have to see Suitless Lower Norfair. Yondo here uses a power bomb to open the gap, but it also killed both of the bulls, which both dropped a power bomb. So it is nice to be able to pick up those drops. Okay, so now Audra is doing the moves here to get to the items at Gravity Suit, or what would normally be Gravity Suit. The first item was a missile, and now we're back at the rear item, which is also a missile. And at some point, the missiles don't help you anymore, but yeah, Audra having 2 power bombs left, now 1 power bomb. Not able to go check what the wreck ship reserve item is. We'll see maybe if Yondo checks it, but for now, it remains a mystery. Waterway was an item that got left behind. We did not get to see the retro Bryn, like Billy Mays items, or the retro power bomb behind Morph Ball. Those are still a mystery to us. Some of the things that were left behind, and Climb Supers. I see Audra going again for the sponge bath, and that's what it looks like when you nail it. Okay, so on the last power bomb there, Audra was able to get, and look at that little bounce off of the platform in order to save a jump. I'm taking notes, people. It's always great to watch the great runners do some of these rooms, and you just start drooling over some of the moves and go, oh, I want to do that too. And you realize that sometimes it's harder than it looks. Okay, so the Wreck Ship E item is a super pack, and I expect that Audra is going to make the attempt to get this item, keep it, because supers are so valuable. And sometimes the logic is so tight that you really just need it. So there it is, the super missile pickup, giving Audra a 25. And now Yondo in the attic here will be heading out to the sky, the sky portion of the ocean. We'll see if Yondo opts to check the wreck ship reserve item and maybe gain some important information. Nope, as he's running to the left, it looks like he's not going to. And Yondo only has one power bomb right now, which also matters for checking gravity suit's rear item. So we'll see how he decides to manage this and get the sky item without any more power bombs. Audra is opting to go back up toward the attic to check, presumably, to check the wreck ship reserve item. And, you know, in the tournament last year, I do remember that there were so many times that Audra did these kind of things where it was like, why would you really go check this? You believe in wreck ship reserve so much. Well, yeah, in these slowest settings, since Hardway to Hell is the slowest progression setting, it will very often give you the worst case scenario. So, Ice Beam is at wreck ship reserve. Very valuable information to have. And Audra now has it. So yeah, that is not a trivial thing to find out. And you know, the instincts that you get from doing Hardway to Hell seeds, it starts throwing you way off because you think, I gotta go check wreck ship reserve, I gotta go check it. Sometimes in a regular seed it would just be a missile or you don't know. But so often in Hardway to Hell, oh, watch Yondo here. Using the last power bomb is not going to be able to go check the other items at Gravity Suit. Okay, he is going to opt to farm here. That's going to take a while, probably. At least you know it won't be Ice Crab Climb Everest. Okay, Yondo with one power bomb now. Hopefully doesn't get stuck. Really hope. Anyway, it could have just been like, alright, this is going to take too long. Alright, now Audra, back at the ship, still with only 5 power bombs, opts not to go to Gauntlet right now. And is going to go down toward Old Mother Brain and Climb Supers. Don't know if they're going to check Climb Supers, but we'll see. Meanwhile, Yondo is taking that ride in the bowling. Yeah, in the end, Yondo ended up skipping the Sky Supers. Let's see what's at Old Mother Brand. I don't think we've seen this yet. It's nothing. See, sometimes you go to those and you're like, wait, did I check this earlier? It's blank. Did I pick this up? But no, nobody's been there yet. Nobody's seen it. All right, so here's Yondo making their way out of the wreck ship. So yeah, he's getting out of there. Gonna keep this good stuff and get on with his life. We'll see how it all works out. Audra also dropping a power bomb for the Retro Bryn power bomb. It's also blank. It's just so heartbreaking when you see that. Uh-oh. And this is normally a gray door where you have to defeat all these hoppers, but it's kind of a silly little moment. All right, now Yondo, having escaped the wrecked ship, is going to go back down Red Tower rather than take those extra checks in Retro Bryn. So we know that that's actually a good skip at this moment, but we'll see if Yondo actually gets to the middle of Red Tower. Well, it looks like Audra is only like one room away. But suddenly, this is really close again. Yondo taking the save. Looks like it could be for a D-boost to X-ray check. Audra also is going to do D-boost to X-ray without saving. And you can see Audra here going for the D-boost to X-ray. You got to use these waivers. Take a few hits to avoid hits on the spikes. And then there's one last D-boost to get off a waiver. Done. And yeah, what Kai is saying makes sense, that if you don't have enough PBs, doing all of Billy Mays would not add up. Yeah, that's right, Space Cowboy. It's the regular map, and the bosses are not randomized, but the difficulty is that there is going to be 1 or 2 suits missing. Plus super fun combat, meaning plasma and screw attack, at least, are also missing. But there should be all the E-tanks you can desire. They're not always in the places you want them to be. But here's Yondo also setting up for the deboost to X-ray. And as we watch Audra go down to the rest of lower red tower here, we'll see the Spazer check and start to see a bunch of other new checks down here. So, I mean, just for example, look at the tracker right now. We've done the top half of the game, and we have Spazer. You know, that's what these seats are like. Yeah, Kai is clearly overworked. You know what? Take 5, Kai. We'll handle it for a few. There are a few different ways of doing this. I'm looking at Yondo doing the deboost to X-ray. There are a few different ways to do this opening. I know I have my own way that from what other people do, but deboosting off of one of these original fire fleas is certainly a good strategy to kind of get that first good jump across the room. And as Audra goes into Kraid's lair, we see the first item is a missile. Normally the Kraid missile is actually a missile, so that one's just as it should be. So it looks like Yondo is giving up on the deboost to X-ray for now, which will turn out to be, you know, not a bad thing to do, as we know it was just a missile after all, I believe. And Audra going to Kraid, so we're on to the second boss now. As Fantoon's already dead, Kraid is in his normal place. Those two are certainly the easier bosses. Most certainly in the Hardway to Hell settings where you could be missing suits. But let's see if it's a quick kill. The 2 missile, 3 super, sit down Kraid. Yeah, tracking bosses is weirdly hard to remember to do. So, super is being the reward at Kraid instead of the very suit as you'd normally see. But that's not a bad reward, as now Audra is sitting at 30 supers, which is respectable and actually starts getting you thinking about going to Lower Norfair, as sad as that sounds. Since High Jumpless Lava Dive is in Logic, you know, you'd obviously want to have some more power bombs before dipping into Lower Norfair, but yeah, getting 30 supers is one of those moments where you can start thinking, I have enough supers to kill Ridley. And I guess another important thing here is Audra finds the reserve tank at Kraid's E-tank, the warehouse E-tank. Yondo is certainly going to find that too, and it will be Yondo's first reserve tank, as he skipped the 230 missile location, which had the first reserve tank. But then Yondo will have reserve and X-ray if they're interested in doing any G mode or R mode shenanigans. So now Audra's heading right into some hell runs. Even before going to high jump boots, just taking a different route here. And looking at the wall in the crumble shaft, it just opens up to a blank no item, and Audra nopes out of there right away. Yondo also getting the quick kill on Kraid, so 2 for 2. Respectable. And Yondo grabs those supers. Yeah, Yondo has skipped 2 super packs already, though. It's rough. It's rough. But you never know when you're going to find Speed Booster and going to be able to go back and do some of that stuff again. Could be that Yondo was holding out for Speed Booster to full clear, for example, Climb Supers, Waterway, and Wreck Ship all at once. That could end up being like a valuable routing decision. And Audra, having come out of the X-ray hell run here, or sorry, the ice hell run, Audra had found another super pack in there. So now look at that, 35 max supers. A great number to watch as we get going. Although power bombs have been in so scarce, now power bombs, it looks like, are really going to be the MVP of this seed. As look, we even found another tank, another missile at high jump boots. So Yondo also going down into Upper Norfair Business Center. We'll see how he decides to route it all out. And look, Audra getting halfway across the high jump boots room and realizing there's just nothing there. It's just blank. It happens. And grabbing that E-tank gives Audra a refill. And sometimes doing these checks in this kind of order will get you an E-tank and bail you out. And see this Croc escape check by Audra. You see there's another super pack down there, which, you know, depending on the seed, that's pretty valuable information to know, especially if it's a major. But even knowing that it's a super, yeah, where's all the power bombs? Well, if I know Hardway to hell, they're going to be in the worst possible place. That's all I'm going to say. Probably a really bad place. Okay, so here we are in the cathedral. Let's see what this item is for Audra. Oh, it was a blank. Nice. Always nice to find a blank. And it's always fun to actually have to do the cathedral hell run instead of just speed boostering through Frog Speedway. We have not found Speed Booster yet, so you actually have to do this hell run. Kind of funny when sometimes you don't have to. And here's Audra entering into Bubble Mountain. There's going to be some new checks here. Let's see what the item in Bubble Mountain itself is. More supers. So, you know, as power bombs end up looking like the limiting reagent here, if you will, having all these supers, I mean, you can't complain about having more supers. But the fact that Yondo skipped some of these super packs could be not as catastrophic as it could be. So we'll just see how it all kind of shakes out. But yeah, anytime you make skips, it could definitely be difficult. So there's Yondo doing the ice hell run for the supers. Now he's at 25. And Audra's about to get a couple more items here at speed. The item in front is a blank, normally a missile, just blank. The speed booster is an E-tank for a refill. Kind of a bailout there, but I mean, they certainly could have gotten back to the farm in time. But it's just kind of nice when you're doing hell runs and find another E-tank. Just keep on going. Runner, runner. Yondo here doing a little bit of farming for the power bombs. It's nice to get some pretty much guaranteed power bomb drops from those mini disc Giga. And now Audra with that E-tank can go straight into the next hell run. Heading over to Wave Beam. Pauses for a moment there to get that power bomb drop from the dragon. Sweet. And here we go into the Wave Beam room. The item in front is Spring Ball. All right, well now we can let the theories commence. Our first little bit of Suitless Meridia equipment, gear, Spring Ball with high jump would be a way to get through Meridia. Pretty much all of it. And then also in Lower Norfair, if doing the hypo jump in the worst room in the game is too challenging, Spring Ball wall jumping, the worst room in the game, is another pretty good use for Spring Ball. So a couple of things to kind of keep in mind as we move forward. Spring Ball is on the table. Now Yondo's into the cathedral here, but is going to be just skipping past the item. Looking kind of perilous there as we go into Rising Tide. Only half a reserve tank. 200 energy remaining, should be fine. Opting to go straight through that dragon though. An E-tank at Norfair Reserve for Audra, then another refill. And I have to look at the restream to see what the other item was over there. It was, oh, the other one was blank. I see. So yeah, finding another tank in Bubble Mountain. So it looked like, after all, it was Spring Ball and 2 tanks. It's certainly going to be nice for Yondo to find the tank and get that refill, but gonna have to wait a bit because you can't just get into speed or Norfair Reserve on that 124 energy. So looks like Yondo's gonna go down to this farm first, and we'll see if maybe keep going, go to Croc. I don't know. Meanwhile, Audra grabbing the health refill and going left. Looks like, yep, they're heading right toward Croc. So, some people say always bet on Croc. And here we go. No charge beam yet, so Audra's gonna have to use ammo to beat up Croc, but plenty of missiles and supers in order for this to be a very safe fight. And you can also just do it as ideally fast as you want to. You can see trying to get a missile and a super into the mouth at the same time and do a little mini Doppler shot in order to get that. And then Audra diving into the acid just to go get this item. Turns out it's just a super. And then hanging around for a moment to get that map tile. For all the Mappo fans in the crowd. And here's Yonda with 5+ tanks going into the speed hallway. He's gonna get bailed out nicely with an E-tank here. He goes straight in. Taking a couple of farms just for the extra leverage, I guess. And Croc is fully down and skelefied. And then Audra's gonna jump across this room. Takes a little bit of trickery to get across this room with so little movement. But turning off spring ball and then setting up a spring ball jump midair. Looks like it didn't work. Actually have not done it this way before, but if it works. Morph. Turn on spring ball. Press it again as you're coming out of the pause. Oh, it missed. Oh, I was excited about this. I want this to work. Okay, now going for a D-boost off of this ceiling metal ripper. I don't normally do it this way either, but if this works, this room is just kind of annoying. But yeah, Yondo, having grabbed that E-tank, is also heading over toward Wave Beam. And there's the D-boost off of that metal ripper. Audra's been able to check this item over behind Croc. It's another power bomb, so that's the second power bomb pack, finally, behind Crocomire. So we got our first power bomb pack at BT, and we went all the way through Brinstar and the wreck ship without finding a second one. But yeah, good to have confirmation that the Ripper D-boost does not require Moonwalk. And now Audra, heading over toward the grapple location, decides to green gate the back door. Because there's no other good way of like jumping up to the grapple location from below. And Yondo on the way out of, and grapples a blank. That always makes you feel great. I went through all this trouble and got a blank. And Audra's gonna have to leave this Indiana Jones item behind without grapple or high jump or bombs or space jump. You know, so many ways you could get that Indiana Jones item, but none of them are currently in the inventory. And Audra checking this item over here at the cosine room. Does not see anything. It actually happened so fast I didn't even get to see. Let's see if I can look at the restream and see if I can actually even see the blank spot. Oh yeah, okay, it did come on screen. The blank. Audra actually saw the location. You thought it was just a map tile check. Get that map tile. Nah, I think Audra's missed a few map tiles if this is really a Mappo run. I did appreciate the Croc map tile, though. All right, well, Audra leaving one item behind, just one item behind in Croc's area, high-fiving Yondo right here. So Yondo going in to fight Croc will end up finding that second power bomb pack. But what does that give you? Back of Gauntlet? I mean, this is rough. The item map tile goes blank when you see the blank location. So now Audra making their way back through the Cathedral Hell run in reverse to get back to Business Center and presumably go back up to Criteria to get more stuff. I mean, are we talking about a Gauntlet check now? What if Gauntlet had power bombs? See, like I don't know. Okay, so Yondo finishing off Croc gets that super item, and we'll see if he ends up spending less time getting toward the Croc PB. But now Yondo is finishing off Croc as Audra's leaving Business Center. And going to the left, there's no Suitless Meridian on the table yet. It must be Gauntlet. I mean, we've done everything else, right? I know Audra has skipped some other checks like Billy Mays. It could be like Billy Mays progression. I mean, I think that's something that and what Yondo just did there with the bugs to get a D-boost across. Another good way of getting through that room. And now Yondo has the second power bomb pack. So, yeah, I mean, I think we're either talking about progression at Gauntlet or at Billy Mays. These extra power bombs. Yondo grabbing an extra little bit of farming here, I presume, for the supers, just to be able to get those gate glitches. Or just wanting to farm. It's always good. Yondo going into the save, presumably to be able to save scum these checks rather than do them fully. Audra going into the Retro Bryn area, and it looks like going to be going toward Billy Mays. All right, here we go. Let's see if Billy Mays is the answer. Yeah, see what Yondo just did to like D-boost across the spikes. It feels dangerous, but is one way of getting across that room quickly. That's probably what I would have done. And Audra getting this through the door jump onto the invisible platform for Billy Mays. A blank and a missile. That's not the progression we were looking for. I guess we're talking about Gauntlet after all. Yeah, womp womp. See, if you checked it earlier, you would have just found a missile. You probably wanted to reset. But now Yondo is going to get the great disappointment of finding nothing. And see, that's when you could reset out. But maybe they're just going to keep going anyway. And Yondo trying to get a peek at this item. I don't think this is possible, though. Because it is sitting on a platform. You could see the platform. Yeah, in before we stuck in Climb Super's X-Ray Climb as a joke. It would be possible to check the Climb Super's item with the power bomb, or to actually acquire Climb Super's item with a very long X-ray climb. Audra now gonna check climb supers. Let's see. Only 2 power bombs left. And the climb supers item is bombs. Wow. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Oh, that's so bad. Oh, it's so bad because if you have bombs, you could get to like criteria PV. Maybe that's a way. Anyway, Audra's gonna go back to the ship and probably do the refill for gauntlet power bombs. Yeah, it's probably not worth it because he probably only opens up 1 check, but it might be important. Could be. Well, yeah. I mean, I mean, logically, gauntlet has to be the play, I believe. Anybody can correct me, of course, but. And oh, that's right. It also opens Indiana Jones. Good call, Ace. You're right. But so with speed that unlocks this. Yeah, so you're kind of like backdooring something that you could just be doing something faster, like let's go do Gauntlet. Yeah, it's unlikely to matter. You're gonna find speed before you find like high jump. Or it could be like speed deep in Meridia for, I don't know. It could matter. How much logic is there really here? Yeah, there's still a lot of logic because we're down to very few checks remaining that are in logic. Oh, another powerbomb pack in the front of Gauntlet. See, that would have been a pretty gutsy check to do earlier, as we would have gotten bailed out by the powerbomb pack. Oh, that always feels weird. Like, if I'd just gone here, I would have been able to get out. But how can you ever know? And the back of Gauntlet has high jump boots. Huge score, because high jump and spring ball opens up a good deal of suitless Meridia. So here we go. High jump at the back of Gauntlet. Just what we've always wanted. But boy, imagine finding that earlier. Yondo's going for this Norfair Reserve with the hypo jump off this left wall. That's tough. Right, and it opens Indiana Jones with the so-called jackpot spring ball wall jump. You can do a high jump spring ball wall jump up to Indiana Jones item. But I expect we're gonna see some suitless Meridia checks now. Okay, so here's Yondo once again going to the top here for a D-boost across, and it worked. And setting up for the next room, going toward Norfair Reserve. We know this is just another E-tank, but you like to have it. But then Yondo will be caught up to Audra in the E-tanks department, so... Energy tank. Yeah, that's right, Kai. Nobody had peeked the back of Gauntlet or the front of Gauntlet. If anybody had gone in there with 5 power bombs, they would have gotten bailed out and gotten high jump boots for their trouble. But as it turned out, nobody did that. So nobody got the advantage. But if anybody was wondering, does it ever happen? It does. It did. It is. looks like Yondo is now finishing up in Norfair, having done all the possible checks, and with the extra power bombs is also going to probably be thinking about going back and revisiting places that he hasn't already seen, or just doing that gauntlet check, which is actually the big payoff. So we'll see if Yondo decides to go for the gauntlet check as early as possible, but yeah, and Audra was going for that fast entry. I think that fast entry spring ball jump, but the fish blocked it. It is possible to climb Main Street here with high jump and spring ball. Any of these things that you would normally use like ice beam on to climb, like if you were doing RBO, can also be done with a spring ball jump. You can get enough height to do this entire room with just spring ball jumps. So whether you prefer ice beam or spring ball, you know, that's kind of a matter of preference, but at least with spring ball you get extra attempts if you fail, though it feels bad to be like pausing so much. Audra had kind of a weird jump there. Oh, yeah, you have to get a crouch jump for that one, but it worked. Now we saw that Crab Super's item was a reserve tank. We'll see if Audra goes in there to grab it. Probably. I mean, having tanks is good. Especially because we don't know if it's Suitless Lore Norfair yet. Pretty strong indication, since we already have high jump boots and spring ball. Pretty strong indication that it's going to be a totally suitless seed, or we probably won't find gravity suit. But, you know, anything is possible. But, you know, you kind of stack up the clues against each other and say, well, what's more likely? Suitless Lore Norfair or Suitless Meridia? Or both? And Audra going for the unmorph movement through the door. It didn't work. So it'll be a double spring ball jump from this low spot here to get up this wall. So you see the first spring ball jump, and then as it is about to fade out, you have to jump again. Oh, that jump didn't work. Okay, so not really a first try here, but we'll be seeing our first double spring ball jump of the seed soon. This is one of those tricks that took me a while. It takes a while to get it figured out, you know. Okay, this looks good. On the way up, you can re-equip spring ball and jump through the last unpause. So there's the double spring ball jump up the fish tank. And we're going to go visit Mama Turtle. On the other screen, Yondo has made his way to the top of Red Tower and presumably going back to the ship to check Gauntlet. Or maybe some of those other checks that got left behind, so we'll see. Audra at Mama Turtle. Oh, I didn't see what the item was. Going for a spring ball jump off the wall here. It's grapple. Grapple at Mama Turtle. Easy Dragon access / kill. Yeah, now we've got grapple and double and spring ball. So if you're talking about getting into the aqueduct, yeah, we already did the Main Street climb with spring ball. And we'll see Mount Everest with grapple is pretty trivial. Suitless. Meanwhile, Yondo did gun straight for the gauntlet check. So we'll be seeing that progression. Audra's leaving. Seeing grapple as a clue to go to Lower Norfair, perhaps? Wait a minute. Or to go to Indiana Jones. I guess we'll see what happens here. Sometimes grapple is as strong a Lower Norfair hint as it is a Meridia hint. You don't know how much sense this makes? We'll see. I mean, I expect it might be an intuition that the Indiana Jones with grapple is going to be the next progression. Because that would be a pretty challenging next progression. So sometimes you're just kind of thinking like the slowest progression would think and say, well, what's the next really bad thing I could do? Indiana Jones with grapple? Yeah, let's go check that. Even if it is a little out of the way. But if you got it, if it works out, it works out. So Yondo, after getting the gauntlet items, including high jump boots, is heading back toward the main part of Criteria here. So we'll see if he's just going down or if he's going to go down to a Billy Mays. He's heading down toward Billy Mays. Morph ball area. He didn't even do 230 missile before. Oh, realizing that he can actually go get it. Okay, so Audra is farming here. This could be... Is that a save first? Saved first. So maybe the save was just a save scum. To be able to go check Indiana Jones. But now with all this farming... What? Okay, this looks like a Lower Norfair farm. Didn't miss too much. Where were the boots? Back of Gauntlet. Nobody had checked back of Gauntlet. I think Audra was looking for power bombs, but there's no froggies on that side. Oh, look at the power bomb drops from the farm. There you go. And Yondo gonna find the nothing at Old Mother Brain. Nothing. Just what you always wanted. More of nothing. East Sand Hall Spring Ball Jump is in Logic. Well, I think you can't get to Shack Tool suitless with grapple unless you have Space Jump also. So I don't think we're talking about Shack Tool yet, logically, or even... Oh, suitless CF clip to Shack Tool. Yeah, well, yeah, there are some bad things that could be going on here. All right, well, here's Audra going for the lava dive with high jumps. So we're going to be talking about the slightly easier lava dive here. Off the wall. A little delay to skip that fireball. And it's a first try. And it's going to be a save. So let's take a look at Audra's loadout here going into Lower Norfair. 20 power bombs. So that's really only enough for one Crystal Flash without farming, but there are chances to farm power bombs. So actually, this is a pretty good loadout if you can get to the second half, because 20 power bombs can go a long way. Yondo still trying for this Billy Mays jump. Audra popping the reserves here naturally. And then watch for the Crystal Flash here. Was making attempt at the green gate glitch before the Crystal Flash. Yondo finding the Billy Mays Disappointment single missile pack. This PB count sucks unless there are more PB backs in here. Yeah, it's true. It is rough. I mean, there are ways of getting, like, you know, like this room can grab you a couple of PBs, and then now look, Audra immediately again has another Crystal Flash, but you do have to get through like the pillar room, so the extra power bombs can go away pretty fast. But Audra's making their way forward into the worst room of the game. Keep an eye out. Using missiles and super missiles to clear out the pirates, because these power bombs are valuable. All the ammo is valuable at this point. And the jump over the top pirate! Gotta love it. Okay, so Yondo made his way back to Big Pink here, though, even though Audra's in the amphitheater, and it's all very important, but you kind of see what's going to happen. Yondo's going back for some of these checks that were skipped earlier, I think, due to having different amounts of ammo than were needed. But I think Spospo is blank anyway, so it's not going to be anything there. But here we are, Fire Flea. Another Powerbomb pack for the nice bailout. And using Grapple for that farming. Very nice. We'll see if Audra opts to do a little bit more farming here or just decides to go on. Yeah, looks like a good opportunity to get some more farming in. Although each round, they're using those supers to blow away that fireball thing, whatever it's called. Another Powerbomb farm. Yeah, Fune. Here we go. So Yondo setting up for this wave gate. Looks like it worked out that time, but I think this item is blank after all. Alright, there's the full power bombs pack. Audra moving on toward the save point. And this is the kind of moment where I would often think, like, am I going to be able to get out of here if this doesn't add up? But, yeah, having 2 crystal flashes, you ought to be able to get back out. But all the power bombs that are needed for these rooms. Look at the reserves popping while getting hit by fire. Ow. And then dropping a power bomb. Oh, for the crystal flash. Here it is. The super count is the only even potential problem. Well, with grapple, it looks like it's going to be a safe shot to the farm room. Audra's checking the PBs of Shame location. It is more supers for a nice bailout. Having used several supers on some of these rooms, nice to get that bailout. Oh, there's more supers once you're getting to the farm. It's looking good. Although we're down to 9 power bombs. Gonna have to get to that last farm room in order to get a powerbomb farm, but it's looking safe. Oh, meanwhile, I gotta pay attention to Yondo's also doing X-ray. Looks like using a spring ball jump to finish the X-ray check. Okay, so there's the powerbomb farm, and then Audra can leave the room and come back, get 3 more power bombs relatively quickly, and then, you know, once you're ahead on power bombs, you can get that crystal flash in. So I think, as sketchy as this feels, this is relatively safe, and you just gotta get that farm going. This farm looks familiar. Yeah, every time you go through that door. Sure is nice having grapple. This room is tricky because there are places that you can crystal flash where you're going to get slapped by an enemy. Alright, so the first crystal flash worked out, and then it there's still going to be some more maneuvering to do here, but... Meanwhile, Yondo gets the bad news. That X-ray is just a missile. This farm demonstrates why this PB count sucks. Yeah. Keep having to come back into this room to get more power bombs. Yeah, there are ways that you can sort of manipulate your spring ball jump by using high jump, or like not using high jump on the initial jump and then turning it on for the spring ball jump. There are ways that it can kind of wiggle it around and make it work out. But it looks like Yondo found the way out alive. I would say alive and well, but probably don't feel too well after spending all that time in the X-ray hallway. Just get me out of here. Meanwhile, on Farm Central, Audra's got full power bombs now. So the numbers to watch is really the super count. Because if you want a Crystal Flash before entering the boss, I mean, you want to have like 40, right? So let's see how good it gets before it all goes down. Farm Central. Yes, here we are back at Green Acres. The grasslands. You call it Banana Farm because you can slip on a banana and bust your skull? Okay, so see, Audra had to use one super to open the door. Then it does feel bad to have 39. So there's 40. There's 41. Okay. So getting out of there. So I mean, you can finish the boss off, but then you actually have to survive. So I mean, maybe wanting to have 50 supers is the play. I mean, get as many as you can. Well, you can't guarantee there's going to be an E-Tank behind Ridley. There's still a lot of checks in Meridia that have not been looked at yet, and a few other kind of one-off ones, and we still haven't found Speed. So whoa, into the acid to quickly lower the health. Well, that looks like it would have that looks like a pitfall. It almost certainly was intended to be able to like quickly drain the health for the Crystal Flash, so I was panicking unnecessarily. Here we go. Ridley with supers. If you just stay on the ground, Ridley will start to pogo, so that's a good manipulation. You can watch for that super count to hit 10 if they all hit. Oh, actually we had more than that, huh? Okay, so there's 10. Looks like that's it. Ridley with the grab. Clean Ridley fight. Audra with a full Crystal Flash worth of ammo left over is sitting pretty to get out of Ridley's area here. And safe enough to be able to get a farm. And even gets bailed out by an energy tank. Although Audra probably would have loved to see Speed Booster right there to keep the narrative going here. Like, you know, why would you go to LN? Well, maybe it's speed. Maybe it's gravity. Worst possible thing is probably Ridley. Well, turns out it was an E-Tank, which is nice. But we'll see what kind of decisions Yondo makes now. He's going into Suitless Meridia, doing Main Street with spring ball jumping. I expect Audra's gonna have enough supers to do 2 Crystal Flashes and then get out of here. There's 20 supers. And sure enough, yeah, this should be a cozy escape now. I mean, relatively speaking, it's still suitless Lower Norfair, but in terms of having 2 crystal flashes is a lot better than 1. Oh, Kai's prediction is to speed at GT missile seats, so you need space jump in order to get speed. Could be. Maybe we'll never know. But Audra making their way into the Three Amigos, or whatever you call this room, where the save is. Relatively safe to get out from here with all the. Oh, Audra gets hit through the door by the key hunter. That was rude. That was mega rude for an extra just 200 damage of health. Just out of spite. Super rude key hunter smack through the door transition. But I would predict that Audra's going to be able to get out of this LN. Uh-oh. Oh, but the timing is bad on this crystal flash. Oops. How much do the key hunters do with no suits? Yeah, that hit just did 200. So yeah, you do want to avoid getting hit by them. So yeah, nothing is trivial here. But I mean, this is going to be enough health to get out eventually. Yeah, it does 2 whole E-tanks worth of damage. Oh, like right there. Slapped in the face. Okay, Yondo's doing the fish tank now, so making his way into Mama Turtle to try and find more progression. And we know he's going to find the grapple, which will help. Okay, so now Audra's got to this safe platform here. Using the crystal flash will definitely help. Now they got both of those key hunters into that little... Oh, one of them was in that gap. And the other one's right here. Yeah, tough to get that last dodge. I think Yondo's trying to do the spring ball jump to get the item above Mama Turtle, which should work. Just I got the timing right. Turning on spring ball. Press jump out of the transition. And there's grapple. So Yondo. Progression-wise, now at the same spot as Audra, though in a totally different part of the world. We happen to know that Audra did not find Speed Booster down here in Lower Norfair, but that means that Yondo may find it if he decides to stay in Meridia. Could be a turning point. We'll see. But it sure is going to be tough to come back because Yondo still has to do all of LN, and Audra is checking the jail item, and it's an E-tank. There's an E-tank in the jail. Which makes you go, well, is that worth it? Some people might want to go get that. Okay, Audra's going to go get the extra E-tank. I mean, it's an E-tank. It helps. Yondo's setting up in Mount Everest here for the double spring ball jump. So watch for this spring ball jump out of this little cleft in the rock. You can start a double spring ball jump here and get up Everest. So it starts by having spring ball turned off for the first jump, though. So it'll be turned off, start the first jump, and then turn on spring ball. So watch Yondo here on the doubles. Oh, he kind of turned around instead of morphing, so he's going to have to go again. There's a lot happening. Audra is also making the escape here out of Three Musketeers. He's going to use a power bomb to check the item. It's Charge Beam. Hey, we found it. We found Charge Beam. Everybody wanted it, right? And Audra making their way past the Three Musketeers. Oh, almost with the ball boost. Almost. And out of trouble. Made it to Bubble Mountain. And Audra checking in with the Bat Cave for a farm. Okay. Probably just wanting to feel safe before leaving. Or maybe just sees this as the closest possible good farm. Alright, meanwhile, back to Yondo here. Yondo did make it up the double spring ball jump Everest, though I was looking away. And now there's a second spring ball jump that you want to make to get up this part of the room. And if you just do a single spring ball jump and just hold to the right, you should be able to get up there and then just do a flatly jump to finish it. So we'll just kind of got to finagle it. That's not the word. Yeah, farming supers for bot wound, health for cathedral. Yeah, there's plenty of supers that are needed, so I just think this is the farm for me. Yondo didn't get that crouch, but if you get jump crouched and then you can, oh, didn't quite feel right, I guess. Oh, this health looks kind of low, but let's see. Maybe it'll work out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ow. Oh, and the save goes back to the Three Amigos room. So I'm gonna have to escape LN one more time. Boy, I thought it looked good. But as many of us know, a lot could go wrong. A lot can go right, but if enough things go wrong. Where was the Meridia go mode? Did Yondo dip and Audra push? High jump boots was the critical Meridia thing that we found at the back of Gauntlet. And then, while searching the front of Meridia, Audra found Grapple and opted to just go to LN with Grapple, thinking, hey, that's it. There's my farm beam. So then Yondo is continuing with Suitless Meridia after finding Grapple. So that's really the big divergence in this seed. Is that they both found Grapple, Audra went to Lower Norfair. Boots and Grapple decided to not stay in Meridia, that's right. Just said, hey, that's my cue. I'm gonna go do LN. Sometimes you can find a gravity suit though, so yes, Audra was ahead by that point, so I expect even if this all works out nicely for Yondo and like he finds speed or something, it's gonna be a long road to catch up and do that suitless LN. Because basically as soon as Audra catches up to where Yondo is, like it you know Audra's way ahead with an extra boss done. Suitless LN all done. Let's just see what Yondo finds here. Is it gravity suit? No, it's nothing. There's nothing. You get nothing. Ouch. Definitely Varia Dragon is my guess. Well, that would be nice. That'd be nice for Yondo. We'll see. It could. I mean, this seed could certainly, with all the tanks that have already appeared, it could certainly just be a no suits seed. We did all the wreck ship. Ice is at wreck ship reserve. We never found speed yet, so it's either at GT or deeper in Meridia. Like, that's where speed must be. We're looking. Okay, Audra, back at Bubble Mountain again. Going into the reverse Cathedral Hell Run, which last time took its toll. Meanwhile, Yondo is waffling about the aqueduct. Oh, getting some extra power bombs for this crystal flash clip incoming. I mean, I think it's perfectly reasonable to think, like, you know what? I do not want to go to the aqueduct without Ice Beam, or I do not want to go to the aqueduct without X. Like, I think that's reasonable. Audra making the way out of Cathedral, pre-Cathedral, with popping the reserves right at the door. CF clip is free though. Nice. Depends on the person, but I know Audra can do it. It looks like Yondo's farming up for it too, so it's gonna be interesting. Neither one of them is gonna be able to ice clip. It's gonna be Crystal Flash clip to bot wound. Also, trying to dodge the hard trick in Hardway to Hell is definitely not the meta. Right? Yeah, I know. It does feel bad when you go for the hard trick and you're like, all right, I got it. But then if you just went the other way, you would just get a suit or something. So maybe that's what Audra was kind of gaming for, was the, you know what, Ridley's going to have something. Or I have grapple, it's not going to get any better than this. So let's just go do LN. So there you go. Only had to backtrack like one room to get to here. But at this point, if Audra catches up to Yondo, it's gonna be, I mean, look how close they really are. Audra may check the beach or may just say, I'm in go mode. That fish is in the wrong spot there. Ooh. And it took a chunk out of Audra's health. Yondo here with 18 power bombs this is probably the last crab farm. Oh, except it was a health. And then this crab, it's power bombs. There's all the power bombs you get. All right, time for some Crystal Flash clip, maybe. Yeah, people are mentioning in chat all the different possible like things that could be going on with this seed, but you know, as it is, Audra's at the fish tank again. And Yondo is checking sand pits. Okay, let's see. Yondo shoots at the power bomb. Angrily? Another power bomb. Well, that's probably not good enough to keep. Yeah, Yondo's gonna nope out of there with the reset. Reset back to the aqueduct save. Possibly checking the other sand pit. We'll see. Okay, so Mount Everest. Audra here with the grapple beam. Yeah, I think back to Yondo doing the double spring ball jump up Everest. We had grapple. Where's the bracket? Check the pins on general. Cheesy. I've been keeping it updated on GitHub. When Colors said, "Are we keeping our bracket on Imager?" Is that how you pronounce that? IMGUR. I said, no, I'll be updating it on GitHub. Like any self-respecting programmer. Wait, what beam is that? Was that a charge? That's not a charge beam. Because charge beam... Oh, that's wave. Is that wave beam? I'm having a hard time seeing that. Can I make a legacy rando? What do you mean? It's a wide beam, huh? You need points? Yeah, looks like it was a wave beam and a power bomb at the right, the left sand pit. Oh, Super Metroid Legacy, the hack. I don't think I played that one yet. But I'll look into it for you. Audra here, setting up for the Crystal Flash clip by having health below or equal to 50. With 23 attempts, or sorry, not 23 attempts, but 23 power bombs. You get to have attempts until you're down to 10. Alright, here's our first Crystal Flash clip attempts. Gotta have a Crystal Flash clip start at the top of this jump. So, frame perfect. And people could say how difficult they think it is. But, as you can see, it's not free. More attempts before I'm gonna have to redo from the save. It could work out. Oh, that jump didn't fire. Okay, one more. Come on. Gotta go back. So wait, so Yondo is opting to get more power bombs rather than just do a whole bunch of more Crystal Flash clips? Yeah, looks like Audra's committed to missling the Zebs. Well, let's see. Well, maybe Yondo's doing this right pit to go try the shack tool check. I'm just so confused because Yondo did all that power bomb farming. I presumed to just keep going, but then wanted more power bombs. We'll see. So Yondo, we'll see if he goes to the right or if he goes to the left. To the right. Uh-oh. Never saw that spring ball snail trick. Yeah, that's a good one. Here's some more Crystal Flash attempts on the left. Yondo trying to get the spring ball attempt. There's a spring ball jump here you can do with the sand, but it's oddly precise. And it's one of those things that's really weird. Like if you start at the far left of the platform, you can have enough momentum to the right entering the sand that it works out. But that is a really, I mean, I don't know if that's the only way to do it. I'm really not too good at this trick that Yondo is attempting right here, so I don't know all the details, but from what I've seen, I don't think this is the right setup. We'll see what happens. And if it doesn't work out, he may just abandon on it, but here's a jump! Nope. Audra, run out of power bombs again! Alright. So is Yondo just gonna... he's gonna keep trying. Okay, let's see. Ace, you have an idea? So wait, Yondo... What? What's going on here? maybe looking up the solution. Yeah, Yondo's in his thinking ball. Yeah, I expect I expect that maybe Yondo's phoning a friend right now in the form of a tutorial video. YouTube with the assist on this one. Let's assume. Hey, I know if it was me, I would be doing the same thing, thinking like, okay, it's not the first time, probably won't be the last time. As long as you're not looking at my... Oh, see, look, here Yondo's sitting up on the left side of the platform, as I was imagining. Not that I'm sure that this is gonna work either, but you do have to, like... Ooh. Metroids do 90 damage without any suits. Yeah, there you go. So many Crystal Flash clip attempts. See, when you see the power bomb go off and then the next one go off immediately, you know that's too late. I mean, that's one of the things I do know about that trick, is you should be able to, like, press... You have to press the fire button as part of the Crystal Flash input, so if you press it too late and you're balled up, you'll drop the next power bomb, but that's probably not the way you wanted it to go. So the thing with CF Clip is that sometimes you do have a day where it's impossible. Some days it's free and you can't force it. Well, I guess we'll see what happens. It's not easy. That's why this is the master level. And some of us, I mean, I won't give away too many of my secrets, but some of us have a very hard time with the Crystal Flash Clip. And sometimes, yeah, it's like Cheesy is saying. Yeah, I mean, I hear you, Cheesy. Maybe Yondo's just got a gut feeling about this Shack tool check, and sometimes it could really pay off. Like, I mean, if speed is here, I mean, that still feels so slow, but it would be pretty redemptive to get speed at Shack, to then get ice at Wreck Ship Reserve, and then you just go win. Well, there's a lot that happens between those two things, but as the logic chain goes, CF Clip is also double frame perfect. Right. Not easy. Here we go, another round of CF Clips. I mean, I just know one of these is gonna work. It's just gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. See, there it is. There you go. So then if you're holding down coming out of the Crystal Flash Clip, you'll be able to crumble those blocks. They're from the Crystal Flash. So there's the clip. And Audra's in the bot wound behind enemy lines. And undoubtedly ahead of Yondo at this point. That is probably the biggest hurdle remaining. Not to jinx anything, but I mean, realistically speaking, getting that Crystal Flash Clip is probably the last big hurdle remaining. With grapple for Dragon, I mean, at the level this tournament is, it is close to trivial. So let's just see how it all plays out. And I don't expect Audra's going to do anything too risky at this point either. Yondo's still trying to get this spring ball jump in the East Sand Hall, which is one of the newly added but in logic things in the Varia website. So while this hurts to watch Yondo attempt these, we presume for the first time, you don't know. You don't know. But maybe Yondo is just not thinking that he's in go mode besides this, like, needs more stuff? But yeah, watch this Coliseum with grapple. Definitely not as bad as doing it with ice or something. You never need to do this. You should last location this every time you're thinking about like what Yondo's up to. Yeah, well, sometimes you got a feeling and you don't know how the other person's doing. But yeah, I think if with our vision on the seed, there's probably not much to be gained from Yondo getting this trick in. Though it looks like he's pretty committed to it at this point. Otherwise, he may have reset by now. There's been dozens of attempts, I would dare to say. While Audra's setting up for the quick kill. Oh. Always annoying when Dragon doesn't behave. Try and like get gooped, get grabbed, get grapple. There it is. Solid kill, plenty of health remaining for grapple escape. Audra not even going to wait around to see what the item is. Oh, bonk. Bonk on the head. And there's a sweet grapple escape from Dragon. And turning off Spring Ball, the Spring Ball jump out of the Precious Room. So there we go. All the bosses are dead for Audra. And Yondo is abandoning this adventure. Yeah, that is a sparse menu, right? Some of these seeds do look really grim when you're on the pause screen and you're like, I feel like I should have found something more than this. But when you think about how E-Tanks and Crystal Flash is available, Grapple are all not on the menu. I mean, all of those things are about as important as the major items in some ways, so... Yeah, Audra didn't even check Space Jump, cheesy. Just decided to grapple out of the room. We did see a couple of other majors. We saw Wave Beam. We may have to wait for the credits, cheesy. Yondo going for the green gate glitch here, but I gotta say, it is kind of perilous with these crabs hanging around. I don't want to jinx it either, but gotta watch out. You're doing gate glitches underwater, and there's crabs around. Ew. Yikes. Okay, got the gate glitch. Well, I think we're pretty close to getting another high five, though this high five definitely not favorable for Yondo. Yeah, I used to think that too, Ace, and then at some point I was like, well, does green gate glitches work underwater? Sure, I don't know. And then you do it and go, once you've done it, it's like, oh, it does work. Changes my whole perspective on things. But yes, green gate glitches do work underwater. Same with the blue gates, though. I think that just matters in ROM hacks. There aren't any blue gates in the original underwater, I don't think. I think they're all green gates. So Audra, going back. Deciding to check the beach? Okay. This is strange because, you know, this looks like pretty solid go mode, I believe. Or Audra realized the ammo constraint. Is it that bad? Maybe. Yeah, maybe there's more ammo needed after skipping charge beam. Okay, I didn't see where Yondo is headed, but... Oh, there's the last E-Tank. Yondo's going back down to Business Center, and maybe is going for Lower Norfair. Here we go! Is that all the E and reserve tanks? Yeah, I believe so. I believe that's all 4 reserve tanks too, Chrono. You'd must missile the Zebs and the jar, yeah, then refill, and then would have 4550, which is not enough. Ooh, well, that is a constraint. So yeah, Kai pointing out that Audra, even though has finished all the bosses, left charge beam sitting in Lower Norfair at the 3 Musketeers check, and is gonna need a little bit more ammo to survive the Mother Brain fight. Yondo has not done Lower Norfair yet, and so until we know for sure where everything is, it is a little bit of an advantage to be able to be closer to 3 Musketeers right now. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, Yondo is definitely going to have to catch up here. And what other things are even left behind in Criteria? I mean, Climb Supers is bombs. We saw that. We can't even get to Criteria PB unless you go get bombs. But that's just one check. I would just go... Oh, 4550 is enough with 15 to spare. But you'd have to break the... You have to break the tube, and then you have to defeat MB1, Ace. So I think you need 25 missiles to defeat MB1 by breaking the glass and then going back in. So then that would leave you with 50. Oh, okay. So yeah, it could work out. 4550 is what you have after MB1. Okay, so it does add up. Okay. It's a constraint, but if you know that it's a constraint, there's still enough ammo. Okay. Sorry, I was misunderstanding what Kai was talking about, maybe. Looks like Audra knows what's going on and is just going to go in Torian. So here we go. Sorry, I got confused. Isn't that why we're all here, though? We all want to be a little bit confused. Hard way to hell. With a little bit of extra confusion. Oh, that's right. Ant's going to be powerbombing the Metroids type of Torian. That's always exciting. A little extra pain. Like confused how? Like sometimes you're doing one of these seeds and you think, wait a minute, I thought I did everything. And then you realize you didn't. Nice manip on that room 3 to get the power bomb and send the Metroid flying toward you, and you can like pass through it with invulnerability. So it took a 4th power bomb to do that room 3, but that is a cool strat. I was confused because I thought Kai was trying to convince me that Audra did not have enough ammo to beat the game and needed to go back and get charge beam, but it's not true. It looks like Audra is going to be able to beat the game without charge beam, because that's a lot of supers. Can probably even be a little bit sloppy and still win. All right, here's Yondo's lava dive, by the way. High jump. And a nice wall jump. Yondo getting through the lava dive. Yeah, it's just annoying to kill all the Zebs and go back to refill. Yep, that is annoying. But if you know it's coming, I mean, you just do it. All right, well, Yondo is beginning the Lower Norfair experience. Suitless Lower Norfair with 30 power bombs, which was more than Audra had. But I'm afraid the fact that Audra is at the very end of the game and Yondo still has 2 bosses left, I think we can kind of see how this one's going to play out. Carefully using missiles to do the Idor and then probably the Zebs also. You put yourself in this break MB glass situation with like half as many missiles, this could be worse. Right? Yeah, you don't want it to be worse than this, but sometimes it is. Now, taking a hit here with 4 full reserve tanks, probably not the worst thing in the world. So I think that's what Audra was sort of calculating in that refill room. Like, you could take a refill, but is it really going to help you? Not that much. These hits, though, are doing a lot of damage. Down to 260. 220. See how far Audra wants to go with this. Okay, going all the way to the last Zeb. And now out of missiles. Gonna make the return. 160 health. 140. This is scary. Yee! Yondo going into GT. Now we'll get some new information. GT missile is a missile. Oh, and GT super is a power bomb. Did we see what screw attack was? Oh, it was also a missile. Okay, so there's nothing in GT really. Well, okay, so the GT conspiracy theorists are laid to rest. No speed at GT missile this seed. Oh yeah, Audra needs the health refill. Sometimes you're just in a hurry and you're like, oh yeah, I think you're gonna need that energy. I get it. Especially as this seed is nearing 2 hours and you kind of go, what happened? What happened? This is almost 2 hours in. But yeah, they're just bad. Oh, you thought it was a strat. Well, yeah, you can't really use a crystal flash with this kind of ammo. So Yondo is trying to do... Oh, I think just had some poor menuing there. Yeah, this farm is not the worst thing in the world for some power bombs, especially if you can like use the energy refill also to your benefit. But yeah, Yondo's going to take a little bit of a reprieve here to get power bombs back. Audra using some super missiles to keep it moving. Okay, so 42 supers leaves 18 times 3 is 56. So I'd say 7 missiles to spare, or 2 supers. So not a lot of leeway. I could have watched half a season of Everybody Loves Raymond with these 2 hours. Yondo's super situation is dire. Being at 25. Well, you just gotta know how to not use them on the worst room. Oh, taking a little bit of a hit there. Oh, that is a bad hit on Yondo. Okay. I can't handle it. Audra's fighting Mother Brain and Yondo's doing the worst room in the game at the same time. Okay, so Audra got the rainbow. Yondo's doing Crystal Flash. Ow, it hurts being an acid, but... Ketchup deals 400, getting a single hit was lucky. There you go. Nice to get lucky. Okay, so Yondo's got this plan with these power bombs, I think, but this is not going to add up, I'm afraid. Running out of power bombs. May not get back to do another worst stream attempt. Yondo's heading back to the save point. And while Audra's getting grabbed by that baby Metroid. Super Metroid, if you will. Ow, Yondo smacked right into that pirate. Well, anyway, as we're getting to the end of this one, Audra just has to kind of dust up the end of the game here. Even with no speed, though, it should be fine. And Yondo is kind of stuck doing the front part of Lower Norfair here. So as it turns out for the tournament, this will be the first win for Audra. This is the first match. And Yondo's second match, but the first one was really kind of a play-in. So if Yondo goes down from Game 9, it'll be facing against Vibrant Colors, and then Audra will be facing me in that Game 15, the winner's side. So this match was to face against an admin of the Hardway to Hell tournament. And you might be thinking, Rusty, were you watching this race to see who your competition's going to be? To which I might say, yeah, but I already know Audra is really good. And I don't stand too much of a chance unless I get really lucky. So hats off to Audra on another impressive race. We were all, doubting when you went down to Lower Norfair for the as soon as you got grapple, but it all worked out in the end because there was not enough good stuff anywhere to make anything else worthwhile. Ice Beam was locked behind the Speed, and we never found Speed. So we're all looking forward to those credits to see what's really going to happen here. Where was the Speed Booster? And here we go. Audra coming in with a 1:58.23 according to race time. And Yondo taking the forfeit. Do all Hardway to Hell seats have either Grav or Vara, or can they have neither? It can have neither. All right, we're joined by Audra. GG. Congratulations.
Could have been a bit better, but
yeah, it looked pretty scary going to Lower. Of course, going to Lower Norfair without a suit is always scary, but what I guess we were wondering, what were you hoping to find down there?
Gravity. Just figured like if I spike gravity there, it just makes Meridia a lot faster. So it's kind of the gambit I was taking. Like when I saw grapple, I was like, oh, that makes the rest of Meridia free. But and Meridia was still probably the better option. Just like, but like in my straight line, I didn't find too many more resources in Meridia. Maybe there's stuff in Sandpits. I don't know. But
Yeah, we're gonna be watching your credits to see where anything was, because nobody found speed and nobody found like any other good stuff. So welcome, Yondo, and great race.
Hello. Thank you, GG. Yeah, Sandpits just had power bombs and wave beam.
Oh, that's right, wave beam.
Speed booster location.
Yeah, it was. I mean, you want to watch it back? It was pretty much a lot of the same decisions all the way up till the grapple beam, when Audra went straight down to Lower Norfair to finish it, and then Yondo decided to keep going through the Meridia. And Yondo, I guess the big question we had for you is, the big decision looked like between doing Crystal Flash clips to get into Bot Wound or going for that Shack Tool spring ball jump.
Yeah, I've done the Crystal Flash clip before, but I'm not very good at it. I would have but the spring ball jump, I had to pull up a video on it. I'm like, I know there's something here. So I beat them. I just couldn't figure it out in a timely manner, so eventually I decided to just do what I kind of wanted to do once I got grapple, which is head to Lower Norfair, especially with those extra power bombs from the sand pit. And by then the race was over. So
okay, so now we gotta like really puzzle ourselves out as we are seeing in the credits. It looks like Space Jump was at Plasma, so then you can go to Criteria PBs for speed.
Wow.
Yeah.
Unless you wanted to X-ray climb super to get the bombs. Yeah, okay.
See, like, I scouted that because I'm just like, oh, if that's a suit, then that's probably worth X-ray climbing. But
that's so bad.
Well, it wasn't going to be speed.
Right.
No, what I should have done was I should have kept charge beam, because I didn't realize my ammo was going to be a problem until towards the end.
Yeah, some of the people in chat had me confused about the ammo count. I was like, oh no, is this going to be bad? But you had it under control. I was just confused.
It was bad, but like it was doable. It was just because the last practice I did, I had ice beam and I also had 60 supers, so I was not being careful enough.
Gotcha. Yeah, it was looking like was Billy Mays going to bail somebody out, or any of the little off checks that people skipped, but in the end it was just kind of a big picture thing, like, hey, just go beat the whole game with not very much stuff.
Oh my god, I was scared though when I saw that high jump was, finally the prize at back of Gauntlet, because if you decide to do 5 PB Gauntlet, you get your second PB pack, you can just get high jump right away. That's huge for like
that's right, that was scary to see. Neither of you did that gambit though, to check front of Gauntlet with 5 power bombs. Neither person did, so neither of you got that huge bonus. But then when
I think that plays kind of crazy, but I don't know what other people are gonna do, so
yeah, all those checks that I left, like, along the way because of, like, ammo limitations and stuff, I was figuring, okay, later I'll just kind of loop around and hope there's maybe something good there. And I think every single spot that I left behind was either something like nothing or missiles.
Yeah, there was a lot of nothing left behind. And it might have worked out if getting speed at some point allowed Yondo to go back and pick up everything with speed. Like, that would have been nice, but the seed just said no.
At the very end, not that it was much of a factor, I kind of forgot that the worst room in the game, the speed booster gives you the extra height you need. But I definitely put a lot of Lower Norfair escape practice after last match.
Oh, right, for that usual strat that you might do in like New Route. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, I think we pretty much settled it all. Audrey, you're going to be going on to face me. Congratulations. And then Yondo, you get to go face Colors.
All right. Looking forward to it.
I was
And
wondering if I was going to
GG.
get the colors rematch and winners from last year, but I guess not.
Well, let's stay tuned. There's a lot of racing still to happen. But yeah, that's it here. Audra with the win. Moving on farther in the winners bracket, and Yondo is going to face Colors next week. And there's a few more races going on this week, and we'll kind of see how it all kind of comes out. Till next time, thanks to the tracker, Kaizenton. And of course, thanks to SpeedGaming for having us on. Of course, I'm always humbled being on here, and it's been fun hanging out with you all. So thanks for all the help. And we will see you all next mission.